Continue reading. Verse 22. Slakia. Continue in verse 22. The poor man, Slakia. When a rich man is fallen, he has many helpers. He speaketh things not to be spoken, and yet men justify. You understand? So when a rich man fall, like Mr. Floyd Green here, see? He have many helpers. You have people, you know what I mean, putting out petitions, you know what I mean, saying that he should not be, you know what I mean, forced to resign, but he should just go on suspension. You understand? When clearly this is the very behavior that exists within the government, and it just highlights their attitudes towards the poor people here in Jamaica, which is mocking them. Them mock the poor, you know what I mean, for them ability to, you know what I mean, can't move and no movement there, and being poor. And these no movement there only make them poor right now. I am mock the poor. You understand? But guess what? The rich, when him fall, him have many helpers. People who say, no man, him too aspiring. We can't afford to lose him because he can be the next prime minister. Yeah, him can become the next prime minister. Him have all the corrupt qualities. You understand? But we don't want a corrupted leader. You understand? Continue reading. Then he speak things not to be spoken, yet men justify him. Them justify him, right? The poor man slippeth, and yet they rebuke him too. He spake wisely and could have no place. So when the poor man speak out and speak wisely, what them do? Them condemn the poor. You understand? Them say all dirty ghetto people, them, and you know what I mean? Them good for nothing. You understand? And they oppress the poor even more. You understand? Continue reading. Verse 23. When a rich man speaketh, every man hold his tongue, and look what he said. They extol it to the clouds. You know what I mean? So enough people are gonna look upon him apology right now, and them are gonna hear what him say. Them think it, you know what I mean? Them think him sincere in him apology. When in fact him only, you know what I mean, him only just a try save face. You get what me I say? Him only apologize so that him can come back next time and excel, you know what I mean, as a politician. Him just apologize because that's the protocol. Him not really sorry. You understand? Continue reading. But if a poor man speak, they say, what fellow is this? So make a poor man, you know what I mean, make the same mistake where him make, right? And apologize. Nobody now accept the apology. They must say, yo, them should throw them in a jail. Them need for this and them need for that. You understand? Because them know the protocol and rare, but because him is a politician, you know what I mean? Him now go get choked in on a bus. No police now go assault him. You know what I mean? Them are going to listen to him apology and say, well, you know what I mean? Him can get a next chance and nothing too big. You understand? Which this does show you say more corruption there behind them money. Because if him ever come out as far, just think about a person, see, who knows that the people them must suffer, you know what I mean, because of these restrictions, right? Which the restrictions might be necessary, who knows, right? Say them necessary, but the people are suffer nonetheless because of the restrictions. And the same man will implement the restriction them or help to implement the restrictions are going to come and mock the people them because them can't move. See? It make you question the restriction itself and the purpose of the restriction. You know what I mean? And then it does show you the heart of that person, that this is a person with no integrity. You understand? No integrity. And rest assured that there's enough more evil that they do, you understand, than just drinking and laughing and mocking the poor. You see? Continue reading. And if he stumble, they will help to overthrow him. And we see that happen every day. You know what I mean? When a poor man stumble, the very poor help to overthrow him. You know what I mean? Continue reading. This is the book of James chapter 2 and verse 2. We'll go straight to verse 6. For if there come, verse 2, for if there come unto you, unto your assembly, a man with a gold ring in goodly apparel or goodly clothing, right? And there come in also a poor man in vile raiment. Verse 3, and yet, and ye have respect to him that wear the gay clothing, which is the goodly apparel, right? So if you have respect to the man who have the good clothes on, and not the poor man, continue reading, and say unto him, sit thou here in a good place, right? Because him have on good clothes and him look like him have money. If you do that, see? And say to the poor, stand thou there, or sit thou under my footstool. So if you put the rich man in a good place, and then you put the poor under your footstool, right? This is what the most I have to say about that. Verse 4, are you not then partial in yourselves? And this goes to the prime minister. You know what I mean? If a poor man break COVID protocol, you throw him up in a, you make police throw him up in a truck, assault him. You understand? Fine him. See? Give him a fine. Right? And you make Floyd Green just simply resign. And you put him in a different position because he's a, you know what I mean, allegedly some aspiring, bright politician for the future. If you do that, then aren't you partial in yourself? And if you're partial in yourself, you're not the integrity, you're not fit for rule over Black, Hispanics, and Native Indians. You're not fit for rule over the children of Israel here in Jamaica. You understand? You're not fit for rule over them because you're not no integrity. Continue reading. See? And are become judges of evil thoughts. So mean your thoughts. You know what I mean? The judgment will come from your thoughts, evil. And it's evil towards the poor. You give the rich a slap on him wrist instead of firing him, you know what I mean, and making a good example of him. You understand? You give him a slap on the wrist and reassign him to some different position. But yet still, you send police to the poor man them house for breaking protocols, you know what I mean, and saying things that you don't like. You know what I mean? You have become judges of evil thoughts. Continue reading. Verse 5. Hearken, my beloved brethren, has not God chosen the poor of this world, rich in faith? So what we need for understanding, is that the Most High not choose the rich. He not choose he choose the poor. You understand? Yeah, man. It's the poor the Most High choose because them rich in faith. You see the amount of suffering we want to put them through, make them seek the Most High even more. You understand? Increasing them faith and seek out the Most High. You get what me I say? That's why the Most High choose them. The Most High can't reach because it is easier for a camel to go to the eye of an eagle, you know what I mean, than a rich man to enter into the kingdom of heaven. Reason being because in a full heaven already. You understand? But the world to come will be the heaven for the poor people, the descendants of the slave, the children of Israel here in Jamaica, the next world to come after your kingdom falling. You know what I mean? Because trust in the oppressor's system, the very oppressors that oppress and enslave. Some are for parents because we know that many are Edens. See? Right? But trust in the oppressor's system, you know what I mean, and America and England, but them are going to fall shortly. You know what I mean? No great empire have lasted forever. And you know that because you know history. See? And America and Britain and them are going to fall shortly. See? So, only in a fool heaven right now. But the most time pick and pick the poor that is in hell right now. Because the kingdom of heaven is for them. And that is the only kingdom where going to last forever. Continue reading. See? And heir of the kingdom, you understand, which is the kingdom to come. You understand? Which he has promised to them that love him. Right? Continue reading verse 6. But ye have despised the poor, and that is the thing, and that is fact and evident that uno despise the poor. Oh, we know so uno despise the poor. This video proves so uno despise the poor. Because uno mock the poor because they can't move during no movement there. And uno can move. Uno can go about, uno can drink uno champagne and enjoy yourself while the poor stay home poor and poorer. They can't move, them can't go market go sell and make an extra dollar. You understand? And when I say, you know what I mean, rules not for implement for prevent COVID. And that way I say, we are said to apply to UNO too. You get to me, I say, continue reading. And draw you, Slakia, do not rich men oppress you and draw you before judgment seats. And that is what we have been seeing throughout this world pandemic. You understand? Our leaders dragging poor people before judgment seats. And them now drag Mr. Floyd Green here before the judgment seat. All he has to do is resign and give an apology. And him good. You understand? So, you know what I mean? Remember to like the video. You understand? Subscribe to the channel. Share. Leave in the comments on the thing resigning is enough for Mr. Floyd Green. Or should he be fired and, you know what I mean, barred from ever entering politics to rule over the poor people here in Jamaica ever again, because obviously he's a man lacking in integrity. You understand? Obviously he's a man that has no integrity. You know what I mean? Remember to pay on the tithes as well, right? You know what I mean? The information is there on the screen. You know what I mean? Instead of giving your tithes money to the Christian pastor, you know what I mean? That, you know what I mean? Don't teach on the Bible. See? Give it to the real prophets of the Most High. You know what I mean? The I.S.U.P.K and the commanding general, your honor. You understand? Go to ISUPK.com and block watch that news for, you know what I mean, more information on that as well too. See? And if you know what, donate to the brothers and sisters in Haiti who have suffered earthquake and hurricane recently. You know what I mean? As well, go to ISUPK.com. You understand? And block watch that news for more info on that as well. You understand? So again, my name is Officer Kayad, one out of I.S.U.P.K Jamaica. You know what I mean? I.S.U.P.K is dedicated to the re-education of Black, Hispanics, and Native Indians, which are the children of Israel, to teach them their culture, you understand, and to bring them back to the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. And with that, I say Shalom.